Constantino. Pound for pound.
Little giant boxing.
Vadim, what's the update on Dmitry Bivol? When is he back in the ring?
You know, we're still trying to figure out the Munguia situation and whether that's going to work out or not for June. I really think that next week will be the deadline. If that has, if that's going to happen, it has to be scheduled for June before the middle of next week. So I think we're going to hear something in the near future. But so far, just it's been difficult. It hasn't been really working out.
So the deadline is in a week. If it happens, it will happen in June. If not, you guys are moving on.
If not, then we just have to figure it out. Yeah, I don't know if we just go to September or maybe there's a July date that we can discuss. But I think we're gonna know more. I'll be able to tell you more in the next week.
Now, when you say September, you're talking about the rematch against Canelo Alvarez, right?
If that happens, again, I've said it before. I'm not 100% sure that that's all.
Why?
Why am I skeptical? Why? I just, to be honest with you, I don't really understand why they would want to do it. I mean, I think that Canelo himself has that mentality that he really wants it, but from the sense that I get, it doesn't make a lot of sense for them. I think they would rather, because he was talking about fighting Bivol in May, and then they decided to do Ryder.
Right.
Now he's talking about fighting Bivol again, and obviously there's no issue later that he could say, yeah, we wanted the fight, but like Bivol didn't want to accept it or didn't want to accept the terms, because there's certain things. I mean, Bivol already beat him. Right. He's not as motivated, and it's not really that big of a challenge for him. So they have to meet certain terms that we're asking for. And one of those terms right now is, Bivol wants to fight him at 168. First of all, it's enticing for him to put all the titles on the line, and he doesn't want any more excuses. Bivol wants it to be a fight where there's no more excuses.
Right.
Because Canelo said after the last fight that, he went up in weight. But he's done that before. And, Manny Pacquiao has done that. De La Hoya has done that. A lot of fighters have done it. And saying that, I made a mistake the time that you lose, it doesn't really, it doesn't sound right, because it wasn't a mistake when you won, when you beat Kovalev. So why is it now that it's not your weight class? So I think if all the terms come together, then I believe in it. Then I think we can make the fight happen. But right now, it's just kind of everybody's saying, oh, I want the rematch, but I don't see any action from that, or any steps that are being taken to realize that.
So Vadim, one of the biggest humps, one of the biggest problems is, from what I'm hearing, is Bivol wants it at 168. You guys want it at 168. Canelo wants it at 175. So
and then I think there's going to be a financial issue, and I think there's going to be an issue on where it takes place, and how do we figure out all the judges and all of that? Because Canelo has said that he thought that he only needed a couple of more rounds to win. I think that's a delusion. I don't think that it was a couple of rounds. I think he lost a lot more rounds than he thinks. But at the same time, if he thinks that it's about the judges, and if the judges can help him, I mean, obviously we don't want to put everything in the hands of the judges. This time around, we did that the first time, and we won, I think, almost every round in the fight. I think Dmitry, maybe if he lost 1 or 2 rounds, maybe, but not more than a couple of rounds. So this time around, I think Dmitry deserves a fair shake, because he's already done what he had to do.
So what is it Dmitry told you? Does he want the fight, or he's like, I'll fight anybody, anytime, any place? Or
after the May thing and all of that, I think it's all about Beterbiev now, because if it's at 175, it's because he keeps on saying 170. Canelo keeps on saying 175. It's up at 175. It's like doing the same thing he's already done before. So I think unification fight with Beterbiev, or if he has to fight Smith first, with the winner of Beterbiev Smith, I think that's a lot more enticing, and that would be a challenge. That would be something that would get Bivol, on his toes, and wanting to do whatever he can to win, just like he was with Canelo, because there's something there. And then there's that undisputed status, and then maybe talk about Canelo after that. But we'll see. Obviously there's TV involved, there's Matchroom, there's the promotional interest, and we have to make sure that everybody's on the same side. But from our point of view, I think if nothing materializes, nothing serious happens in the negotiations with Canelo, I think we just go to Beterbiev.
Okay, and it sounds like Bivol has a lot of options that he could go from either Munguia to Canelo in September, Beterbiev. Which one do you like the most?
Yeah. No, I mean, he has the option. What would I want?
Yeah.
I mean, I would want him to have a fight in between and just kind of shake it off, because he fought in November.
Right.
So I think ideally he deserves that fight to just kind of get in the ring and just make sure he's staying active. And I think after that, to me, I mean, Canelo at 168 or Beterbiev at 175, I think those are equal, 50-50 really good fights that take Bivol one step towards becoming undisputed, either in that weight class or the other, and one step towards becoming undisputed in both weight classes, which I think would be, probably the top of the notch dream for Dmitry, because if he could do 168 and 175, or 171 and then 168 and win those fights, I mean, I don't think that's been done in history. I don't think there's anybody that's been undisputed in two weight classes.
Wow, that would be,
you know what I mean?
crazy.
But yeah, it would be crazy.
Last thing, Ryan versus Tank. What do you got?
I got Bek Melekuzi fighting on that card.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully he can,
Rosado, the rematch.
Yes, and that's an important fight for us. That's a really big fight for us. But Tank is really good. Tank is very skilled. But Ryan has showed a lot of heart and a lot of power in some of his fights, so I'm actually excited for that fight. I think it's a back and forth type of fight, but I think Tank might have a little bit of an edge because of the skills he has.
Okay, lastly, anything you want to get off your chest about your fighters? Israel Madrimov, MJ, Bek the Bully. You have a great stable.
One thing that we're carrying around, and Madrimov just fought, and he fought a tough guy. He landed some big shots, but the guy just kept on, coming back. I just think Madrimov is really close to that title shot, and I hope the whole Charlo situation is going to be worked out. And Ahmad Aliyev has a very, very tough, important fight right now. We understand that the opponent is a serious threat. Topalis is a tough guy. He can punch, so we'll see. Hopefully, Kakai is ready, so hopefully we get that win, and then I think there's going to be some big things going on for Kakai as well. With the Inoue and Fulton situation.
All right.
So looking forward to some big things happening, but. The biggest thing on my chest right now, obviously, is just making sure Dmitry has the right plan and the right strategy, and we're working with Matchroom right now to figure all that out.
All right, beautiful. Anything you want to get off your chest before I let you go?
No, thank you. I appreciate it. I think we'll talk again in a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.